Okay, in this video, we're going to be modeling the bookcase in Fusion 360. Okay, so let's get started. So this is what you have open. So if you haven't already, what I want you to do is go ahead and click on new project and name it CEA. Double click on it and then go inside the folder. And what you should also do is create a new folder within your CEA project folder. I'm going to go ahead and click new folder and then I'm going to name it bookcase. Just like that, enter, and then double click inside the folder. And then you should have an untitled file like this. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and model this bookcase like this. Okay, so if you notice, it's standing up, and what we're going to do is we're going to build it on its back. So think about when you put together a bookcase or a table or a chair, we always start from the ground up and then we stand it up, just like construction workers do. When they frame a wall or they start building a house, right? They start framing the walls on the ground and then they lay it up. So we're going to do that also in Fusion. Okay. So here in this untitled file, I'm going to go ahead and go to file. I'm just going to go ahead and save it now. Hit save. And I'm going to name it bookcase. Like that. Enter. Save. Okay. So now we're going to start building the bookcase and build the back part, right? If you ever notice that your bookcase, most of them, some of them don't have a back to it. Okay, just like this one. But let me turn this around. So we're going to do the back first. See this gray part? We're going to do the back first, but we're going to draw it on its on the ground, on the work surface here. Okay, so on here, the Fusion in Schoology, I mean, the bookcase back is 72 by 30 by 37 inches thick. Okay, so it's going to be made out of particle board. Like, say we're actually going to build it. Okay, so this particle panel is actually 96 by 48 inches, but the thickness of it is 0.369. So I'm going to round it up to 0.37. Okay, so it's going to be 0.37 inches thick. Okay, so that's we're going to build first the back. Okay, so on Fusion, I'm going to go create sketch. Okay, I'm going to click on the bottom plane because that's where we're going to start drawing. Then I'm going to click on 2-point rectangle. Okay, and then I always like to start on the origin. Okay, I'm going to zoom in a little bit, and then I'm going to touch the first corner at the origin and then go diagonal for my rectangle. So like I said, it's going to be 72 inches long by 30 inches wide. Okay. 72 by 30. There you go. Okay. So let's make it smaller, zoom in. Okay. So there's the sketch. I'm going to hit finish sketch. And now I'm going to extrude it up. Okay. I'm going to left click. I'm left clicking to make a darker I'm going to left click into the sketch to make it that darker transparent color. And then I'm going to right click, or you can go here to extrude. Okay. I'm going to right click, or you can click extrude, but it's faster if you just left click in it and then right click and then go to extrude. And then we're going to go up 0.37. Okay, that's a particle board. So now what we're going to go ahead and do first is change the physical material. So that way you can see the difference in color, like I have here, the difference in color between the back, the side panels, the two side panels, and the shelving. Okay, so here, left click on it on the back. Now I'm going to go create. But actually, let's do this first. Okay, expand this arrow, the bodies, right? We have this first body, that's that, right? If I click on body 1, that's the back. So I'm going to go ahead and rename it. I'm going to just double click inside there and I'm going to name that back. Okay. So what we're going to do for each part is we're going to have, right? This is we're going to have separate bodies for each one of these parts. Right now, right now, for this examples, they're components, right? Which means it has its own arrow, but we're going to convert them into components after we're done completing the modeling and the design of the shelf. Okay, for right now, it's going to be a body. Okay, but I renamed it back. Okay, so now I'm going to go to modify, and then I'm going to change the physical material. Click on that. Window pops up, and then I'm going to go look for the wood folder. And I'm going to look for a particle board. There it is right there. Left click on it. There's the hand. With the hand, just drag it over. And now it is particle board. Hit close. Drag it up. There you go. Close. Okay. So now we're going to draw. Now we're going to draw the side panels, right? The left and the right side here. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the front of the V cube so I can see it from the bottom. Okay. Because I want to draw the side panel flush right against the back, right? We're going to hammer and nail it starting from the bottom, but we want to hit that corner like 90 degrees. See that? So now I'm going to go create sketch, right? We're on this plane. And so now I'm going to click on 2-point rectangle. So I'm going to go even closer with the scroll wheel, and I'm going to make that inside corner really, really perfect right there. Okay, now I'm going to go out. Okay, the side panel, the board is going to be 11.25 inches. Whoop, did I do that right? Let's do that again. No, okay, let's go 11.25. There you go, 11.25 by, no, this way. 11.25 by 0.75. There you go, just like that. Okay, so let's make it smaller. So there's a side panel, right? Click on the home view, and then hit finish sketch. And then I'm going to extrude it out and make it 72 inches tall. Okay, so let's zoom in, right? We just have a 2D sketch. I'm going to go in, left click on it, and then I'm going to right click, and I'm going to extrude. And then we're going to go, since the arrow's going down, we're going to go minus. So we're going to go minus. Okay. Here's the extrude arrow. Make sure, right, you can type in right here, the distance, right? But it's the same here inside the window and also this other window here. So since it's minus, I'm going to type in not 72 inches, but 72 inches minus 0.75. Okay, we want to make room for the top shelf. We'll see that in a second. So I'm going to type in negative 71.25 as a distance. Okay, and then here, make sure your operation, you drop down and you're going to click on new body. Okay, make sure that your operation is new body. If you don't, it's either going to be a cut or a join or something else, then you won't be able to see the shelf. So make sure it's a new body. Okay, hit OK. Okay, then zoom back in and then you'll be able to see it. Oh, something, yeah. Why does it look? Okay, there you go. See that? So what I'm going to do, okay, what I'm going to do first is see, now it's body number 2. I'm going to double click on it. I'm going to rename that side panel. Side panel, 71.25 inches. Okay, enter. Okay. Now I'm going to also, right, while it's still highlighted, I'm going to go ahead and go to modify, and I'm going to change the physical material. And this time I'm going to make it pine. So under the wood folder, let's look for pine. There it is right there. Left click, drag on it. Now it's pine. See that? So see how there's a color and material difference, right? So if I look at it from the top, now I have the side panel. See, just making sure that it's flush. There's no gap. It's not sticking out. Looks perfect. See that? Okay, so let's look at the home view. Okay, so now we have the left side. Now we're going to copy it and place another shelf on the right side. Okay, so how we're going to do that? I'm going to highlight the back, right? Or I'm sorry, highlight the side panel. You can highlight it here, right? Or you can highlight what actually, if you highlight here, it's only going to take the inside face. So what I would do is just click on the actual words itself, side panel like that. Then I'm going to go to modify, and then I'm going to move copy. Okay. And then make sure again, it's asking you what object you're going to move or you're going to do with, right? You want to select bodies. These are all going to be bodies. Okay. And then your window should be big like this, right? If it's something like faces, it's going to be small. So you want to drop down, click bodies. Okay. Okay, clip bodies. There we go. It needs to go bigger. Okay, and it's asking me it's asking me which object am I going to move or copy. I'm going to click the panel again. There we go. Now the window gets bigger. See, because I'm looking for this create copy check mark. So I'm going to check create copy. See that? And so now which direction I want to move it? Zoom in more. Okay, we're going to go this way, right? So if I click on this arrow, see how it's copying another shelf. So now I'm going to check. I'm going to click on the view cube here, right? And I want to move it exactly 90 degrees this way, right? See that? That's too far. 30 inches is too far. 29 is a little too not short enough. So I believe it's going to be 29.5. No, that's too far. 29.25. Yeah, 29.25. See that? Flush. Okay. So now I'm going to hit OK. Okay. Okay, there we go. Now we get the home view. So now it's exact copy up here, right? So if I look at from the front, I got perfect 90 degrees. It's not sticking out. It's nailed correctly, so to speak, right? Okay, so now we're going to build the back shelf. So look at the home view. So if you notice, it's not going to go all the way up. There's going to be a gap here. This is a 3/4 inch gap because I want the top shelf. Okay, just like here. I don't know if you can tell, but the top shelf is going to come over. Okay, so we left a 3/4 inch gap for the top shelf. Okay, all the other shelves are going to be inside except for the top shelf. Okay, so now we're going to do the shelves. Okay, starting from the bottom up. So if you notice, this bottom shelf is not flush against the ground workspace. It's 4 inches offset from the bottom. Okay, so we're going to do the shelf from the bottom up. Okay, so now we're going to go to construct. I'm going to click on offset plane. Okay, I'm going to click on this plane here. Oh, no, not that one. Let's cancel that. Sorry. I'm going to go construct offset plane. I'm clicking that one. No. Okay, let's do that again. Let me hit escape button. Construct offset plane. Okay, there you go. Click that one. Yep, there you go. So that plane, right? I want this one. So since the arrow's going down, I'm going to push it up. Negative, we're going to do 4 inches. So I'm going to type in -4, enter. So now I have this plane offset 4 inches from the bottom. Okay. So now I'm going to click on the view group from the front here, create sketch. Okay. Let's zoom in all the way again. Okay. And then hit create. Wait, did I create? There you go. Create sketch, then create a 2-point rectangle. Zooming all the way in because I want this inside corner right there like this. Okay. It doesn't really snap. There you go, like that. Okay. So this one is going to be 11.25 inches high. Hit the tab button, and then it's going to be 28.5 inches wide. Okay. So let's look at it before I finish sketch. Okay. See, perfect. See, there's this bottom shelf. Hit finish sketch so you can kind of see it. I'm gonna hit the home button. Hit the home button. There we go. Oh no, it's not flush. I want this to be on that plane. It's on the bottom. Okay. Actually, let's do this. Okay, let's do it this way. Okay, now I'm gonna extrude it. Okay, extrude, and I'm gonna go this way. The shelf is going to be -0.75 inches. Oh, no, I didn't do that right. Let's do it again. Undo. See, that's right there. Still right there. Okay, right click, extrude, right? Because what I didn't do was do new body, right? So when I go here, the distance is going to be -0.75, right? But it automatically changed the operation to cut. I'm going to drop down and make sure it says new body. Hit OK. So now the shelf, even though it's on the bottom, we can fix that. Okay. So now I have, okay, so if you notice, now I have, we did the back, we did the stop panel, now we did this body number 4. I'm going to double click on it. And let's go ahead and just rename it first. Okay. Let's make it shelf. And then we'll move it 4 inches above. Okay. Shelf, enter. Okay. Now this needs to be offset. Okay. So the shelf, let's highlight the shelf again. Okay. And then what we're going to do is right click. Oh, then we're going to move it. Okay. And which direction? We're going to move it this way, -4. Okay. Remember, this has to say bodies right here. -4. There we go. See that? So instead of it, even though you did -4, it went up 4 inches offset. So now the shelf, if I look at it again from the top, now it's 4 inches. above above the ground, so to speak. Okay. Okay, let's go ahead and change the that bugs me. All right, that bugs me. The plane is still there. It's okay. Okay. Okay, the shelf. Okay, let's click on the shelf. Is it? Okay, let's change the shelf physical property and the color. So I'm gonna click on the shelf, go to modify, click on physical material. And then let's make this a different kind of wood. We'll pick this dark one, this mahogany. Left click, drag it there. So now it's mahogany. So now we see the color difference, right? See that? See this plane right here. Bugs me. Let's hide it. Okay, so right, so that plane is, it's really not a sketch or a body. I'm just gonna turn off the visibility. Did I turn it off? Yep, there you go. I just turn it off. Still there. I just turn it off. See that I means visibility. So I just turn it off. It's on, turn it off. Okay, close up the arrow. Okay, so let's continue. So now instead of copying the shelf, we're gonna do a pattern copy. Okay, we're gonna use the pattern tool, right? So let's look at it from the top, right? Just so you can see from all angles. So now we're gonna hit pattern, like hit the home view. Okay, so now I'm gonna go to create. Now I'm gonna drop down, go to pattern, click on rectangular pattern, right? Now it's gonna ask, make sure that you're, it's gonna be a body right here, right? Okay, now it's gonna ask what object are you going to pattern, right? I'm just gonna left click again on the shelf, right? Now it's gonna ask what direction are we gonna go? So I'm gonna hit selection and I'm gonna click on this vertical line right here because we're gonna go up, okay? I'm gonna click on this line, right? Make sure that says extent. I'm gonna click on suppress and it's asking how many of these do you want to pattern? We're gonna do 6 shelves, right? So on here, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, okay? We have actually the bottom shelf and then 4 internal shelves and then top shelf, okay? So I'm gonna type in, where to go? 6. Okay, let's do that again. I'm going to go to create pattern, rectangular pattern. Make sure it says body. Select the face. So select the shelf. Okay. Click on select for the direction. We're going to click on this side. Make sure it says extent, and then we're going to check suppress. Grab the arrow. And we're going to do 6 of them. See that? See now this arrow. We're going to go up. And then you're going to see 5 other shelves go up, right? And so here the direction, right? 72. Let's click on the top, right? Actually, let's go see how it goes. 70, that's 65 is too short. 70 is too tall. I believe we want to go 68. 0.25. Oh, no, not that one. Sorry, not that one. We're doing 6, right? 6. Here's what I want to change right here. 68. Is it 68? Let's look at it. No, that's a little too high. See if you notice, see how there's a gap right there? It needs to be 67. No, 67.25. Look at it. Yep, perfect. 68.25, 67.25, right? The distance here, 67.25 is the same look right there. Okay. So hit OK. There we go. See that? We're going to fix that corner, the top corners in a second. Okay. So now we have to look at it from the top. Now we have the 6 shelves. Okay. Again, if you look closer, there's a gap on each of the top corners, but we're going to use the press pull tool to extend that and extend the shelf, the top shelf, right? So if I click on the home button, right, there's a gap. See that? Let's take out this cup corner right there. So click on the top corner of the view cube. Okay, let's click on the home view. See how we do that. How did I do that? Click on this top corner right here, turn it around, zoom in a bit, and we're going to extend this face, right? The top shelf, right? Okay, we're not going to use an extrude because it's going to move the shelf. What we're going to do is just extend it by clicking the press pull tool. So I'm going to look for the face, right? This is the face. This is what we're going to extend, right? So that's what I'm going to highlight in blue, right? Not here. We're going to extend the top shelf, okay? So I just left click on the top shell, right click, and then I'm going to click press pull. See that? So I'm going to type in, right? Or you can kind of bring the arrow, right? All right. It's going to be 0.75, enter, right? So if I look at it, from on this side, it's flush, right? Flush against the back, the particle board, the side panels, and all the way on top. Okay. So we're going to fix this side over here. So I'm going to click on the view cube here. This corner, see that? And we're going to extend the face here like that. Okay. So I'm going to left click right there, right click, click on press pull, type in 0.75 and there. So now the top shelf goes all the way to the side panel. Okay. Click the home button. So now shelf's complete. So all we have to do is rotate it and stand it up, right? We built it, we hammered it. So now we're going to stand it up. So what I'm going to do is, what you have to do is highlight the whole thing, right? If you try to like, see, I never get it right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to left click on the back up here, right? I'm going to left click here. And then with my left hand, I'm going to hit the shift button. And then I'm going to left click again so I can capture all of these, right? I think you can probably do like control also, right? Or just, actually, let's do this, right? I left click on it and then have my left finger on the shift button. And then I'm just going to left click until I hit all of these, right? Okay. Now I'm going to go to modify, move copy, and then we're going to rotate it. We're going to stand it up. I believe it's this arrow right here, right? So I'm going to rotate it, right? Stand it up 90 degrees like that. See that? Just like that. Hit okay. Okay, so that is the bookshelf design. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to do the drawing. So if you look right from the top, everything looks flush. Okay, let's look at it again. So if I click on it, rotate it, everything from all sides looks good. Let's see. We zoom in, right? That's the back. Okay, so one more thing. Before we turn it into a drawing, make sure that you have all of your pieces, right? In this case, we have a back, right? We have a side panel, Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and rename this one side panel, right? It says, name this one, this is gonna be left. I'm just gonna add left on this one. I like this one, double click on it. I'm gonna name this one the right. Okay, so we have shelf 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I'm gonna double click on this top one, right? This is the bottom. I'm gonna name this one bottom. Okay, and I'll just leave shelf 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then I'm gonna double click on this one and then rename this shelf top, add the top to it. See that? Okay. So all my parts are bodies, but in order to create a parts list, you have to have all these parts separate components, which means it has to be on its own arrow, so to speak. Okay, but that's something we can really fix rather quickly. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to left click, right click, and then go up. I'm going to create components from body. So if you notice, it went. Okay, it went here on its own, right? The back is right there. So I do the same thing, left click, right click, left click, right click, and then create components for body. See how it's moving out of as a subcategory in the body and becoming its own component. So I'm actually converting these bodies into components, right? Left click, go up here, create components from bodies. So I grab all of them, okay? That's the only way that you can get them on the parts list for the drawing, right? If you try to do a drawing and then add these parts, it's not going to show up because it's not going to show up as a body, okay? So that's what you should have right now. Go ahead and hit save. And then in the next video, I'm going to show you how to do the drawing, okay? And there it is, transforming or turning in the thumbnail.